Okay, today we're making a green bean casserole. You can make it several different ways. You can make it with canned green beans, or you can make it with fresh green beans. I have 3 bags of beans that I've just put in my all-clad, and it's all the way to the top. When you do when you do the green bean casserole using fresh green beans, you need to cook the green beans first. If you're using canned green beans, don't do this step because you don't need to cook them. They'll cook in the oven when you assemble the casserole. So what you're going to do with the green bean is you're going to see 2 ends. This is the whole green bean. You're just going to snap the top and the bottom and put them in your pan. You also want to make sure that you wash your green beans or rinse them with water before you start cooking them, just to get all the nasty stuff out. You don't know how long they've been sitting in the grocery store, whose hands have been on it. Fortunately, I got these from Aldi's, and they came prepackaged, but I'm still going to give them a wash. For the green bean casserole, you're not going to cook these till they're mushy. You just want to cook them for about 5 to 6 minutes, just to get them cooked. The first time I made the green bean casserole with fresh green beans, I didn't cook them first, and they came out crunchy, and I didn't realize that you have to cook your green beans before you assemble the casserole and then bake them. Otherwise, they won't cook and they will stay hard, and people don't like that. So, one trick is to cook them. You can do this ahead of time, usually for the holidays, Easter, Thanksgiving. Well, not so much Thanksgiving. Easter, Christmas. I do make the green bean casserole. It's one of our favorites in the house. You can boil your green beans a day ahead of time. You can even do it 2 days ahead of time. Just make sure after you've boiled your green beans that you keep them in the refrigerator so that they don't go bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to let them cook for about 6-7 minutes, and you can always test one. You want them to be a little bit flexible. If you can snap them and still hear them, let them boil longer, because you do not want a crunchy green bean in the casserole, but they will cook more when they're baking. So let's get cooking. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just running water on the green beans just to rinse them. I'm going to pour most of the water off, and then I'm going to fill my pot. And I know I'm across the room, so you may not see this. I'm going to do this maybe a couple of times just to get any dirt off of the beans. And this was 3 bags. I used 3 bags for this. Okay, now I'm going to just fill with water, and we're going to lightly salt this in the thing. And it's always a good idea. These are a couple of my cooking tools. I have a salt and pepper, and they do tell you on the side, the green is pepper and the yellow is salt. I always keep them on my stove because those are things that you're going to want fairly handy to you when you're cooking, because you're going to season your stuff as you cook. Some stuff you don't need to season, some stuff you do. We're not going to use the pepper because the recipe calls for pepper once the casserole is assembled. So what I'm going to do is I've got my pot, and I'm going to lift this up and just show you that my green beans, hold on, let me get a better, are in water, and I have the water almost to the top of the pot. And what we're just going to do is we're going to lightly salt this. You don't want to go heavy-handed with your salt. And then what I usually do, and I'm sorry I keep dropping my phone, is you can use your fingers. Make sure your hands are clean, obviously. You don't want dirty hands. Just to get the salt so that the salt's not staying on the top of the beans. And as these cook a little bit, they'll be easier to do. I should probably put these in a bigger pot, but I'm just going to put them on the stove. And you're going to let them boil. Cold water is going to take a while, so this is going to take a little bit of time to come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to boil them about, like I said, about 5 to 6 minutes. I'm going to test them at the 6-minute mark, and then adjust as needed. So that's the first step to do a green bean casserole. The next part of the green bean casserole is you're going to want to get onions. And usually, I always use French's onions. You can use generic, that's fine. I just happen to know on the French's onions on the back is the green bean casserole recipe. Yep, and it's in the blue. It's always the usually highlighted because that's the most popular. So you're going to want your French's crispy fried onions, and then you're also going to want cream of mushroom soup. If you don't like cream of mushroom, I'm sure you can use a different soup. I've never done it because the traditional green bean casserole is made with cream of mushroom. Just gives the beans a little bit of a taste and flavors the casserole. But you're going to follow pretty much the directions on here. If you like to experiment, which I am more an experimental type of cook, don't be afraid to experiment, because your likes and my likes are two different things. But you can experiment. Like, I've learned 1 can of cream of mushroom soup is not necessarily enough, so I put double the recipe. I put a little bit more in. Same with the French onions. I usually buy multiples of these, and I use almost 2 full ones. I use about 1 3/4 of it because we like the onions. But you do what your tastes are for yourself, and just follow the directions. And then when you bake it, put it in a preheated oven. We're going to talk about ovens and microwaves at some point, although most people nowadays should know what a microwave is used for and what the stove and oven are used for. But you can tell my all-clad, I've got the flame going underneath. My green beans are going to come to a boil, and we're going to do this. I am making a ham dinner. I'm not going to do videos on every item that I'm doing today. We're going to do a ham probably in April for Easter maybe. I will show you how to do a ham, and I'm going to do it on the grill. Today's kind of a cloudy, crappy day, so I don't want to film outside if it's going to be raining. My husband's making homemade au gratin potatoes to go with the ham. He already boiled his potatoes. He's already assembled the casserole. He usually does that. I don't do that because I'm not great with potatoes, and usually if I'm doing a multiple course meal where I'm doing the main course, which is the ham, also the green bean casserole, he cooks one of the dishes, so that gives me a little bit of a break in the kitchen so that I'm not rushed to do that. And I will show you how crazy I do get when I do big meals. The next big meal will probably be St. Patrick's Day when we do corned beef and cabbage. But we're going to do like grilling meals, easy stuff that most people will do. And like I said, hit the subscribe button and the like button. I'm going to be posting this on, today's the 2nd. I'm going to be posting this, actually, you're seeing this on the 3rd. So make sure you hit the like button. And we're going to continue the series. I talked a little bit about my pots and pans. Tomorrow we're going to do different fun kitchen gadgets and what I have. And this happens to be one of them. This is my KitchenAid Proline mixer, but we're not going to get into that today. We're going to do mixers one day, juicers, and fun stuff. And we're going to do recipes. So stay tuned and see what a fabulous year this is going to be. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.